How does 2-0 feel for you? It feels good for me, but there's some things that kind of worry me, even though we're 2-0 and the Eagles took an L and all that kind of stuff. Number one, our defense needs to play better, period. And to be totally honest, this suspect play goes all the way back to last year with the Indianapolis game. And we didn't really improve our roster. Our second round pick is yet to get out there and make any kind of impact whatsoever. So something needs to happen. Something needs to improve on that side of the ball drastically for us to be able to handle teams later on in the season and in the playoffs and things of that sort. Secondly, and I think I touched on this yesterday in my after game video, we need to protect our defense a little better. Now, you know how I feel about how dangerous the passing game is. And if it's 3rd and 1, listen to me now. If it's 3rd and 1 inside your own territory, then you play safe. We have the best offensive line in the league. And no, we might have the best offensive line in the league. I'll say that just to give some more people credit. But we do have the best run blocking team in the league. There's no one run blocks better than the Dallas Cowboys. Then you have Zeke and Pollard. I know Zeke took himself out of the game at that point, but we still had Pollard, and we can test Pollard in those situations. And also we could do it safe with maybe a dump off to Pollard or whatever. But in my opinion, that's our strength. And at 3rd and 1 inside of our territory, we'll do what we do best. And if you stop us, oh, good. All right, you did well. Let's punt the ball back into your territory, and then you have to drive the field on us rather than calling a risky play when several things can happen. On the play, it was risky, in my opinion, and a lot of things could happen, and they did. The pass blocking broke down. So Dak had to move out the pocket to try to readjust himself to get the pass off. The pass was behind. Side note right there, I was watching the Eagles last night, and Carson Wentz, so many passes high, behind. He threw a touchdown high. One time, Aguilar had to jump up in the sky to catch one pass, and then right there at the end of the game, Zach Ertz got his ribs almost crushed because it was so far up and behind him. And not once did anybody say the ball was too high or the ball was behind or anything. Nothing. And I'm like, look at this. If this was Dak Prescott, they would be talking like crazy about his accuracy. So let's just, if you don't believe me, go back and look at the game and then critique him like we would critique Dak Prescott. Just that. But the ball was behind him. However, it did hit Cobb in both of his hands. Should have caught the football. And it bounces up and they catch the ball. And then we put our defense in a bad situation. And now, especially now when we don't know our defense isn't at its most powerful level at this moment, we need to protect them better. And that was a situation where I think that we should have taken it safe. Test Tony Pollard in those situations just in case we need Tony Pollard in 3rd and 1s and things of that sort. You know, and same thing, I think one time at the goal line, I think we end up scoring, but we passed twice and ran once at the goal line. We're a running football team, so hopefully we might be saving all this running toward the end of the season, but we can't, just because we're doing well in the passing game, we can't lean on the pass when we're still a better run football team. It's great that we can pass, and that supplement will be absolutely perfect if we still run the football. Okay, around the end of the game, NFL, the game last night, and I cannot stand Matt Ryan. He gets so much credit when he does not deserve. He gets so much credit. That dude, the game shouldn't have been close. And that dude threw 2 of the worst interceptions I've possibly ever seen. I mean, just one of them just threw up in the air, and I don't know what he was seeing when he threw an interception in the end zone. One of the worst things you can possibly do. But he allowed the Philadelphia Eagles to come back. And on Philadelphia's side, that Carson Wentz, he started off bad, but he came along. He came along in the end, and he was doing some real magical stuff out there. And I told some of my Eagles friends a while back, I was like, man, that Carson Wentz got a lot of Romo in him, so you enjoy that, you know. So at the end of the games, Philadelphia is going to be a team that you need to watch out for because Carson's learning the ability to come back on you and to make and he has that X factor in him to go and try to try to make it happen. So even though they lost, watch out for them Philadelphia Eagles a little bit. The Saints may have lost Drew Brees, which is absolutely enormous. I doubt he'll be playing when we play him, not this week, but the next week. So that's a high thing to know right there. And the last game I said I was interested in was Minnesota Packers. And I'm so upset the Packers are 0-2 when they could have lost both games. They could have lost both games with slightly better quarterback play from the other team. I told her about Kirk Cousins. Just like when they got Brett Favre in Minnesota, my wife is a big Minnesota fan. But I told her about Kirk Cousins and how he's going to blow the games at the end, throwing interceptions and things of that sort. And it happened again. So the Packers are 2-0 when they easily could have been 0-2, but we're 2-0 and we took care of business in both games. You can't say we could have been blah, 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 blah. And again, I will say it one more time. Josh Norman, keep your mouth shut. You are not relevant anymore. Just stop it. All right, guys, I have a super busy day with kids and the new house, getting new carpet, getting new floor. I got crazy day, but I'll see you guys tomorrow and we'll talk more football. All right, peace.